Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Sammy Ketchum, and welcome back to Sammy Ketchum TCG. Alright guys, today I'm coming at you with another Rebel Clash deck profile. Today we are doing it on Toxtricity Vmax and Garbodor. And we're going to show you how this deck works today. There have actually been already a couple of variants of Toxtricity Garbodor that have already been deck profiled and going around. This deck is a little different, and it focuses on getting the cards you need at the right time. So we're going to show you how this works and jump into it. Alright, we have ourselves a 3-3 line of Toxtricity V and Toxtricity Vmax. I'm gonna split these up so you can see these for a sec. Alright. Toxtricity V, basically his first attack does 20 and it poisons the opponent's Pokemon for a lightning energy. Its second attack for 2 lightning and a colorless does 90 damage, and if it's poisoned it does 90 more damage. So that's 180. So this deck works with poison. And that's what we're going to focus on today. Poisoning the opponent's Pokemon and doing more damage because of the poison, which is a very, very good strategy in Rebel Clash. And then the Toxtricity Vmax has 320 HP. Alright, and it has 1 attack, but this 1 attack is so good. Alright, this attack does 160, but if the opponent's Pokemon is poisoned, it does 80 more damage. So that's 240. Alright, 240 can knock out things like a Pikarom. It can already knock out Zacian V, things like that. But if you want to hit the upper numbers like VMAX Pokemon, things like that, we have Electro Powers. Electro Powers in this deck basically help us hit more of the bigger numbers. So that's where we could go with that. Very, very good solid damage, and I'm going to show you why or how we can basically do this. Alright guys, we have ourselves a 3-3 line of Garbodor also from Rebel Clash. This Garbodor has an ability that says that if there's a stadium card in play, you can basically leave your opponent's active Pokemon poisoned. So of course, what you do is you play a stadium, or your opponent has out a stadium. Even if they have out a stadium, this works. You poison your opponent's Pokemon, and then you come in with Toxtricity Vmax's attack, and attack it for 240 damage, which is very good. So that's the combo. I play 3 in here for the simple fact that if I would run 2 and 1 gets prized, only have one in the deck, and then if they somehow gust that one up and knock it out, you know, I'm kind of looking weary for the rest of the game because I have no more copies of Garbodor in the deck. But if I have 3 and one gets prized, I have 2 in the deck and I have options. You know, and I want to have those options, you know, either just in case, you know, one gets prized or I can't find them. Or if I happen to discard one early with like the Dene or something and I have another one in the deck, I'm like, okay, I'm okay to do that. You know, so 3 really helps with that. Same thing with the Toxtricity Vmax. The next part of the strategy is 3 copies of Boltund V. This is where my list basically differs from the other ones. I played 3 Boltund Vs in here because number 1, I want to see Boltund V turn 1 or turn 2 in this deck. I want to see this. I want to see this in my opening hand. I want to see this going first or going second. Because I want to use Boltund V's first attack to search for 2 energies and attach them to my Pokemon in any way I like. I think it's bench Pokemon. But 200 HP. First attack, search for 2 energies, lightning energies, attach them to 2 of your Pokemon any way you like. Second attack is also very good as far as a second attacker. Lightning and a colorless. It does 10 damage already, and then it does 30 more damage times the number of energy, lightning energy you have in play. So if you retain your energy and keep your energy on the board, you're doing a lot of damage. A lot of damage. And this as a second attacker is very good, especially with Thunder Mountain. This really does go underrated. In this deck it does. I've seen a lot of people play only 1 copy. I play 3 because I want to ensure that first turn to get the energy acceleration off, and also, you know, as a buff for a second attacker. We have ourselves 2 copies of the Dene GX. It's in it for its Day-Day Change ability. Alright. Play this from your hand. Discard your hand, draw 6 cards. Very good draw power. Alright. 1 copy of Eldergloss V. This is also from Rebel Clash. 180 HP. That really doesn't matter. This card's ability says that when you play it from your hand, you can get a supporter back from your discard pile. This is very good. This is kind of like a little Versus Seeker in a Pokemon. This will be basically used kind of like mid to late game when you really need a supporter that you've discarded. Maybe it's something you discarded off of Sycamore or off of the Dene that you couldn't use earlier, and now you could go back and you discard and get it. Or it's something that you've already played and your opponent's like, oh, you've already played like 2 of these, you can't play anymore. Well, boom, I have an open bench spot, drop Eldergloss, get the supporter back, play boss's orders, bring up your Pokemon for game. This card is a clutch card. Very good clutch card, and I'm very glad to have this in a deck in Standard. One copy of Tapu Koko Prism Star. When it's on the bench, remove it from play and get 2 lightning energies from your discard pile, attach them to 2 of your Pokemon on the bench. Very good energy acceleration. This is also where my deck differs. Alright, I play 4 copies of Volkner. I cannot stress this enough. Volkner really helps this deck out so much because it helps you find the cards and the pieces you need. The item cards in this deck that really help you to get you started in the early turn really work well for this deck. Volkner to find Quick Ball, to find you an energy. An energy you can either attach to your Pokemon or discard for Tapu Koko in order to get the energy back. Volkner to find your reset stamps, Volkner to find just everything that you need. I really like this over Marnie. And Marnie, what Marnie does, it shuffles. Well, both players basically put their hands on the bottom of their decks, and you know the current player would draw 5, or your opponent would draw 4. Yes, you're disrupting your opponent. You're giving them 4 cards, and you're getting rid of their hand. But at the same time, they're still getting 4 cards. They're not totally out of the ballpark. I just don't like that. You know, where you're drawing 5, you may draw what you need, you may not. You know, you'll draw some cards, but it may not be exactly what you need. This gets you exactly what you need when you need it. For me, it does. I'll do this. Alright. 3 copies of Professor Sycamore. Not Professor Sycamore. Professor's Research. Discard your hand and draw 7 cards. Best draw card in the game. Very good. I've seen a lot of decks play 4. I play 3 in here. And the reason I play 3 in here is because I have the Speed Lightning energy in here that also lets me draw cards. So I have a lot of draw power in this deck. I have this on top of the Denes, on top of Speed Lightning energies. That's a lot of draw power. So yeah, I mean that's why I go 3. You know, sometimes too much is a bad thing. 2 copies of Boss's Orders. This is also from Rebel Clash. It's essentially Lysander. Bring up one of your opponent's Pokemon from the bench to their active spot. That's what it basically says. Probably the best Gust in the game right now. And at 2 copies, it's very good in here. You know, I have the option of getting about an Eldergloss as well. So that's a thing. Alright guys, we have ourselves 4 copies of Electro Power. This basically boosts the attacks of my electric type Pokemon by 30 damage. So, and they stack. So you can play 1 Electro Power, 2 Electro Powers, 3 Electro Powers in a turn and do a ton of damage. Or you can just play 1 and knock out their Pokemon. You know, this helps us hit the numbers that we want to hit, which is very good. This electric engine is so good. That's why I love it. Alright guys, we have ourselves 4 copies of Quick Ball. Discard a card from your hand and search your deck for a basic Pokemon and add it to your hand. Most of the cards in this deck are basics except for Toxtricity V and Garbodor. So you can find mostly just about everything. All your basics. Very good. Alright, 3 copies of Pokemon Communication. swap one of the Pokemon in your hand for one in your deck. You know, it's basically what it is. And this is very good to help you find your evolutions. Help you find your Toxtricity Vmax and your Garbodor. It's very good. Two copies of Air Balloon. This is from the Sword and Shield set. This basically gives the Pokemon it's attached to 2 retreat costs less. So this is very good with Bolton V because it has 2 retreat costs. This is also very good with Toxtricity Vmax as it also has 2 retreat costs. And also good with Garbodor because it has 2 retreat costs. So this is a really very good retreating option for this deck. Two copies of Switch. Sometimes you need to switch out your Pokemon. Switch your active with one on your bench. Alright. Plain and simple. Let's see that there. There we go. Alright. One copy is Stadium Nav. Alright. Flip 2 coins. If any of them are heads, search your deck for a Stadium card and add it to your hand. This is very good. More than likely, you are going to hit 1 heads with this, which is very good in helping you find your Thunder Mountain. You can use it to find your other stadiums too, but mainly it's in it to find Thunder Mountain when you need it. Also, Communication, Air Balloon, Switch, Stadium Nav, Quick Ball, Electro Power, are all searchable by Volkner. You know. One copy of Great Catcher. Discard 2 cards from your hand and bring up one of your opponent's EX or GX Pokemon from the bench to the active spot. Another good gusting effect. I can find it with Volkner. Like if I don't have the boss's orders and I want to play another supporter for the turn, I can play this and bring up one of the GX and EX Pokemon. Or really GX Pokemon. You know, this would help you knock out things like ADP. You could basically bring up a Dedenne with this, things like that. So, yeah. Alright, 1 copy of Reset Stamp. Shuffle your opponent's hand into their deck, and they draw equal to the number of prizes that they have. So you play this mid to late game when they have maybe like 4, 3, 2, 1 prizes, and you basically make them draw less cards. So they basically, you know, won't have anything. You know, you stamp them to 3, stamp them to 2, stamp them to 1, and then you make your move, you make your play, and they won't, hopefully they won't be able to respond on their next turn to what you've done and win the game. Sometimes this fails, but I actually still like this, and you gotta have it in there. You gotta have this option in here to do this to your opponent. Alright, here's the stadiums. 2 copies of Dust Island. What Dust Island does is that if your opponent's active Pokemon is poison, well, not opponents, but if any of the player's active Pokemon are poison, mine or my opponent's, if you switch out or switch to the bench with the effect of a trainer card or support or anything. The Pokemon that comes up from the bench, or the switching Pokemon that comes up from the bench, is now poisoned. So this is a way to keep your opponent's active Pokemon poisoned. You know, whether you have Garbodor or not. Which is very good for this deck. I should just do that. Alright. 1 copy of Thunder Mountain Prism Star. Alright. This makes your electric Pokemon's attacks cost 1 lightning less, which is very good. It makes Botan V first attack free, makes his second attack 1 lightning energy, which is very good. Makes Toxtricity Vmax's attack 1 lightning and a colorless, which is very, very good. So, you know, great card, great card. On to the energies. We have ourselves 4 Speed Lightning energies. Alright. Speed Lightning. When you attach it to one of your Lightning Pokemon, you can draw 2 cards, which is very, very good. This is why I went down on Professor's research. So you draw 2 cards every time you play this on your Pokemon, which is very good. I love this card so much. Straighten up. There we go. Alright. There we go. Alright. Here we have ourselves 4 and yeah, let's do that. Or actually, let's do this. Yep. We have ourselves 7 basic lightning energies. Alright. 7 basic lightning energies for your Pokemon, which is very good. This deck runs really, really well. It's testing pretty well so far, and I like it. Is it better than Pikarom? Honestly, I'm not sure. It could be better. It could be on the same level as Pikarom. But I mean, the thing about it is, this deck hits different. This deck hits different. It's not Pikarom. This is its own deck. I want to give a shout out to Celio's Network and also Rare Candy. I basically used most of the cards from most of their lists to basically make this deck, and then I used some of my own kind of texts and strategies, you know, to kind of fill in the gaps to make this work. So I'm going to give shout outs to them. Alright, that's the video, guys. I hope you like, comment, subscribe. Make sure you guys stay safe out there with this virus going on. Take care of yourself and each other. Thank you.